Hello friends, welcome to my channel Quality Magnify India. I got a lot of requests from your side in order to describe, in order to tell in details how this API 510, 570 and 653 course, usually these courses, I am not talking about other secondary courses, usually these courses, how somebody has to apply, what is the procedure to apply, what are the fees for these courses, what are the chapters it is covered, how the result is evaluated, how the question came in the exam, and etc. etc. So all these things I'll receive a lot of requests from the viewer in the comment section, and I decided to guide you properly in order to know how this certification course can be done in a proper way. Before going for any certification course, it is mandatory or it is required for the candidate to know its overall gist, overall summary, to understand what this course covered, how to apply for the course, when can be applied, what are the websites, how much fees it is required, what are the questions it is covered. API 510, if I go for API 510, then what other codes I have to read along with? If I go for API 570 or 653, what other codes I have to read? How the question pattern is, how the question marking they did it, what is open book and closed book exams, what the results I can expect. So all these things you should know before preparing for any course, any certification API courses. So if you're able to know it, then only you can prepare yourself accordingly. So what I decide for that reason to guide the candidates who are preparing now or who are already went through this process and find difficulties, and who are in future they are interested to achieve those certification courses, I decided to make a video in a easy way so that you can understand all the aspects related to these certification courses. So let's start for this video where I will explain how this API 653, 510 and 570 courses works for API, and how we can get the certificates, and what are the must needed informations we should know before before going for this examination preparation for 510, 570 and 653. So, for preparing API 510, 570 and 653, American Petroleum Institute API, what they say, you have to do an application. You have to put an application, a request to API at least 2 months before. Okay. I will come to you when this exam will happen. These exams for API exams, they are not similar like C-SWIP or AWS exams. This is typically different API exams. Okay. So I will come to in detail how this API exams will conduct. But the thing is, if you are going for any API exam which is scheduled on March, then you have to do the application fill up on January. If you want to do it in March and want to attend the exam in March, it is not possible. You cannot do it. If you do in March, then maybe you application on March, then you have to do June or later on. Okay, you cannot immediately you will fill the form and you will ask to go for exam immediately. It is not possible because there is some procedure. Those procedure I will explain you. Okay. So when you apply, you must apply it through online. There is no offline application is allowed. You have to do all online applications. Offline application is not allowed. And how will apply? You have to log in to inspector.api.org. When you apply, log in there, it will ask a lot of credentials. Then you will get a username and password. After getting username and password, what you will do? You have to enter all your informations. Okay. Then when you put the information, then they will ask you, okay, are you asking for any exam to attend? Then you have to select, yes, I am going for APA 510, 570 or 653, something like that. When you apply for that, at that time, they will ask you, give us some reference. from your company. Okay, somebody from your company, one from HR and one from your immediate manager. These two reference they will ask, and a mail will be sent from API to that email ID. So you have to be very careful when you're giving some email ID as a reference. Make sure this email ID is working. Okay. So if this email ID is not working, they will not get a response, then might be it possible your application is rejected. So for that reason, these two email ID, reference email address to be given for verification purpose. This is important. Okay. So these two email ID when you give for verification, be careful that this email ID is working. And this email ID, one HR and one your immediate manager to verify that you are working what you said in your application. So they will authorize, yes, he is working what he said. So make sure what you wrote in your application form that should match with your current designation and current experience. Your manager and your HR person should know this one. Neither there is a most possibility that your application will be rejected. Okay. Your employment history must be submitted in order to qualify the examination. This is very important. Okay. So for this one, you will get the requirement here. What should be your requirement for applying a exam? API 510, 570, 653. If you went through my last videos for 570 and 510, I have already explained you. In 570, 510, 510, I have already explained you in annexures, okay, where it mentioned what is the qualification it is required. Degree in mechanical engineering plus 1 year, 2-year degree plus 2-year experience, high school diploma plus 3 years experience and 5-year experience in the related field. Then only you will be eligible for the exam. Okay. So this is the application format. Application, you have to put application for API 510 or 570 or 653 or the other related API courses. For that one, these are the requirements. Okay, you have to apply at least 2 months before. When you apply, you must apply through online. Okay, only online application is allowed. Then the website is this one. Okay, and you have to give 2 reference email. When you give reference email, make sure this email is working and those persons should reply. And your employment history must be given where your educational and experience should meet this criteria in order to qualify for the examination. So API courses are not conducted whole the year. That is very correct exam. If like C-Sweep, if you go and AWS, there are many institutes available and they are flexible. It is happening all over the year. Whenever you will find a slot any month, okay? Because there are different institutes. They are sponsoring this C-Sweep and AWS exam, okay? But APA is not like that. APA is completely different, okay? There is no sponsorship for APA. You will find a sponsorship company who is doing for C-Sweep and AWS, okay? But in Gulf and in India, in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, you will find a lot of institutes. They do a sponsorship with C-Sweep and AWS bodies and they conduct the exam by themselves. But in API, it is completely different. There is no sponsorship. There is no at all any sponsorship for API. API exam are only happen 3 times, okay, in a year. API preliminary courses 510, 570, 653 are conducted yearly 3 times. You have to remember. No other time it will happen. First of all, API exam, there is no sponsorship company or institute is there who is conducting this one. API exams are only happen through prometric centers. Okay, there is no other way. That is the first thing, and it is not happening whole the year. Never. Okay, it is happening 3 times a year for the preliminary courses. If you see API 510, API 510 window is on the month of January, May and September. It will never happen except this months. This 3 months only it will happen. Okay, January, May and September. If you want to go for exam in January, you must have to fill your application format by November. Okay, last year November. If January 2023 you want to do, then the application format should be completed by October or November 2022. 2023 January you need to do the form fill up before 2 months. Okay, so this happen only 3 times a year: January, May and September. API 510. For API 570 it is February, June and October. No other months it happens. It is fixed by API. Okay. For API 653 it is March, July and November. So this is fixed. There is no other changes. Okay. So this is the preliminary courses. For the supplementary exams, what are supplementary exams? 571, 5 damage mechanisms, weldings, RBI, okay, pipeline inspections. So 571, 577, 580, 1169, 936. So this one happens on the month of April. Okay. So whatever the course is there in April every year, all these supplementary exams are conducted. So based on this, you have to prepare yourself. If you are going for API 510 and you thought, oh, next month I will prepare for API 510, it is not possible. Okay, because the schedule is already fixed by API. It will only happen on January, May and September. If you apply for January, you sit in the exam in January and you not succeed in the exam, then you can go for the next exam in May only. You cannot go for February, March or April. Okay. So similarly, for 570 it is February, June and October, and for 653 it is March, July and November. And for all supplementary exam, you have to go for April every year. You cannot only one time. This is on April, 1 month in a year, April. 571, 577, 580, 1169 and 936. Whatever you need, that should be on April. So let's say you try for one exam, 510. You go for the exam, you write it, but unfortunately you are not success. So what you will do? You will go for the next. Okay, second attempt. Let's say second attempt also you are not success. Then you will go for third attempt. So first exam you give on, let's say on January 510. Then you are not success, you go for May. Then you are not success, you go for September. In September you are not success, then you have to rewrite the exam. They will not consider it as a reappear exam. They will consider after 2 attempts it is a fresh exam. Okay, you are a fresh candidate. You are not a second attempt or third attempt candidate. Okay, so what happened? Why I say like that? Because it leads to the money. If you fail on first, then you go for second and third attempt, then you have to pay $300. I will come to the next slide how much the fees will be. Okay, so if again you fail, you $300 they will not accept. They will take you as a re-exam. Okay, re-exam, the full examination fees you have to give. Okay, clear? So fees are paid in US dollar. Okay, it will convert even if you pay from credit card from your country. So whatever the dollar conversion rate will be, that will be deducted. Okay, and for payment of API fees, it is 2 types: one for API member and one for non-API member. So the fees are like that. For initial certification, 510, 570, 653. API member $940. Non-API $730. For supplementary courses 571, 580 and 571, it is $365. It is for one course only. Don't consider this all. For if you go for 510, $940. If you go for 570, it is $940. If you go for 953, it is $940. Okay, similarly here 577, 580 and 571 is also $365 for APA member and $315 for $365 for non-APA member and $315 for APA members. Recertification, as I told you, if you go recertification where you failed, okay, for next 2 attempts, and then you go again for the application, then it will be $730 and $625. For supplementary courses, it is $260 and $205. For reschedule, let's say you put a date on January some date, and due to some reason you cannot attend it. So you want to reschedule the exam. So for reschedule you have to pay $300. Okay, for preliminary courses, and for secondary courses you have to pay $150. And for late application fees, if the application within 2 months you cannot apply and you apply lately, but still there is a window, then you have to pay $150 for late application fees. So once you apply for the application after verification of qualification is only through ICP portals. Okay, ICP portals, as I give you, inspector.api.org. This portal this is the only gateway through which you will get all the informations. So your application for verification, approval, payment, everything will be done through these ICP portals. Employment history and other details to be submitted along with the payment as mentioned in last slide. So employment history is most important, because as I told you, there is a requirement how you are eligible for the exam. So based on that, you have to put your qualification and experience. Based on your qualification and experience, they will decide whether you are eligible for the exam or not. And examination by proctor center or remote proctor center. Before 2019, there is no remote proctor center. Okay. After COVID only, they allowed remote proctor center. What is proctor center and what is remote proctor center? Proctor center is an examination hall, examination center authorized by API Institute, where there is computers, everything, cameras, and there is a proctor inspector is there who will check everything, and there is a desktop. You have to go there, you have to give the exam, you have to show the ID. So that was proctor center, which was there before 2019, and still it is existing also. Remote proctor center, what happened after COVID, in order to avoid the gathering, they allow you can take the exam through your convenient place. Convenient place means through your office or through your personal house, you can give your exam. But the checking and the verification are the same. Like proctor center, if you go for the exam, they will ask you to show all around. They will check for your pockets and everything. There should not be any cheating from your side. So they will check everything. So similarly, for the remote proctor center, that is the same procedure. They will check everything. Your ID will be verified. Everything will be done. But the thing, there is a simple difference. What is there? Proctor center, that is a designated place by API, where there are many candidates can give exam at one hall. But in remote proctor center, this is a remote area as per your convenient. Okay. I don't know up to what time they will allow this remote proctor center, but still it is ongoing. Okay. So on the examination date, what happened? For remote proctor center, computer compatibility to be verified prior. When you go for proctor center or remote proctor center, a computer compatibility usually API asks to verify. What is that compatibility test? Whether your laptop or desktop, whatever you are using, usually laptop and desktop is allowed. Tab and everything is not allowed. Tab or mobile is not allowed. You cannot give exam in tablet or mobile. So for the laptop and desktop, they will see whether your download speed and upload speed, whether the proctor software is not plugged by your administrative computer administration. Okay, all these things that will be verified. So for remote proctor center, computer compatibility to be verified before. So what you will do, you have to the proctor center will send you a slide. You have to run that slide. So once you run that slide, you will be able to know whether your computer is compatible for this exam or not. Okay. After this compatibility is done, on the exam date, before 15 minutes to half an hour, you have to connect with a link. Okay, a link will be sent to you. So that link you have to connect. Okay. In that link, you have to give your confirmation number and your last name of your surname of your full name, okay, you have to put there. Then automatically Proctor Center website will be open and somebody from Proctor will guide you, okay. So what the proctor will do, he or she will ask you to show your original ID. When I say original ID, original ID means maybe it's a passport, maybe a voter ID, or maybe your driving license, maybe your national ID, okay, which we call as a residence ID. So those IDs, driving license, residence ID, passports, okay, all these things are allowed. You have to show this one to the proctor that this is my verification ID, and he or she will verify that one. After that, she will ask you to show all around so that nobody is there in the room. You should be sitting in a proper neat and clean table and chair. There is no evidence of cheating. There is no papers, nothing on the table. So that things will be verified by the proctor. Laptop camera and examination area to be verified by the proctor examination. So it is a very be careful for that one. Don't try to do any sort of cheating or something like that. Neither you will be disqualified immediately. That is, the exam is very strict. During the exam, even though you don't see the proctor, he or she is watching through the exam portal because you are connected there. So don't try to do anything. Prepare for the course properly, read the course properly before going for any type of preliminary or secondary courses. Go to the exam, give the exam confidently, and pass the exam. Don't find any shortcut, any type of shortcut will there is always a chance to make you disqualify, okay. So a neat verification of self and room need to be checked by the examiner. That will be done by the examiner. So the examiner will ask you to show the room. Then they will ask you, okay, you can show your ears, you can show your spectacles, everything they will check. And after the verification is done, you will be redirected to a exam portal, and then you have to give for the exams. So what are the course, how the exam is conducted actually? For API 510, 570 and 653, there will be total 170 questions. Okay, total 170 questions, out of which around 110 questions are closed book. Around, I am not telling exactly 110 will come, maybe 105, maybe 115. So around 110 questions are closed book and 60 are open book. So total is 170. Out of 170 questions, only 140 questions carry the points. Other 30 questions doesn't carry any points. But do you know which 30 questions? You will never know. Okay, nobody will know. These 30 questions, nobody will know which 30 questions carry the point and which 30 questions, which 140 questions carry the point and which 30 questions doesn't carry the points. You never know. Okay, and every question has its own points. Don't think that every question has the same point. So this is for all APA 510, 570 and 653. Total 170 questions, 110 is closed book, out of which maybe 115 and 105 will come. 60 is open book, which can vary to 65 or 55. Okay, out of which 140 questions are mark questions and other 30 questions are not countable as a marking questions. Okay, those questions, even though you give right or wrong, that doesn't carry a point. And always remember, there is no negative marking in API. So try to attend all the questions. There is no negative marking in API. So you have to go for all the questions. Clear? So API 510 contains, in the examination you will find all these codes, and I have mentioned how many possible questions it will come. It is not exactly 100% what I write, but it is almost more than 95% correct. Okay, if you will go for API 510, total out of 170 questions, only through API 510 you will get 80 to 85 questions. Maybe it is 80, maybe it is 85, maybe it is 70. When I say 80 to 85, it includes both closed book and open book. Okay. For ASME section 8 division 1, it is 10 to 15 questions. What is division 1? Pressure vessels. Okay. So it is 10 to 15 questions for ASME section 8 division 1. 571 damage mechanism, 10 to 15 questions. Okay, it is must for a PA 510. 572 8 to 10 questions. 578 4 to 5 questions. From safety, general safety, usually they ask from general safety 4 to 5 questions. 576 6 to 8, 577 6 to 8 questions. ASME section 5 and DE is 6 to 8 questions, and from welder and brazier qualifications it is 6 to 8 questions. So this is the format. So which is most important is APA 510, where you have to go, where you will get most of the questions. Okay, 80 to 85. Then section 8 division 1, 571 damage mechanisms, 572 8 to 10 questions. So all this, the format which usually come in APA 510 questions. So when you prepare for APA 510, you have to prepare and you have to give time accordingly. If 510 is coming more questions, so you have to read it very thoroughly. Okay. So next is 570. As I told in 510, it is exactly same in 570 also. Total 170 questions, 110 closed book, 60 open book, 140 questions will be marking, 30 questions there is no mark. Okay, and every question has their different points. Okay, and out of which APA 570 is 80 to 85 questions, 74 is 10 to 15, 571 is 10 to 15, B31.3 from 8 to 10, 578 is 4 to 5, 16.5 is 6 to 8 questions, 76 and 77 are both from 6 to 8 questions, and section 5 and section 9 are from 6 to 8 questions. Why I say like that? How many questions are coming? Because you have to give your time, your focus more on those codes which is more questions. If you give in 571 damage mechanism, B13.3 process pipings, 578 PMI, 516.5 for flanges, if you give more time to those codes and standards and give less time to 570, then you will might be possible you will get fail, because there are a lot of questions coming from 570 only. Okay. So this closed book and open book, when I say this closed book and open book, first the closed book exam will be conducted and then the open book. We'll come to that. Similarly, for 653, it is 170 questions, 110 is closed book and 60 is open book, out of which only 140 are scored. You have, means 140 questions have points, other 30 questions have no points. Even though you give wrong or right, it doesn't carry on points. So here it is similar. For 653, it is 85 to 90 questions, 650 is 20 to 25 questions, construction. Okay, 571 10 to 15 questions, 575 inspection 8 to 10 questions, 651 cathodic protection 4 to 5, 652 for 4 to 5 questions, 576, 577 2 to 3, 6 to 8 questions, and section 5 and section 9 is 6 to 8 questions. So these are very common. If you go my APA is 510 and 653 codes, I have mentioned there line by line where you will get all these questions. What the possible questions it will come in the exam. So examination score details. You apply for the exam. The window, then you prepare for the exam, you give the exam, and now the result will come. Let's say how the result is evaluated. What happened? This exam open book and closed book. This open book is first, the first exam part is the closed book one, which is 2 hours 45 minutes. Then there is a 45 minutes break, and then 3 hours 45 minutes is for the open book exam. So this is the exam schedule. The exam is not continuous. Okay. First closed book, then a break, then open book. So when you give the exam, after the exam, after 15 minutes or 24 hours, the result will come. Okay, you give exam. Usually by 15 minutes, 30 minutes, the exam results came. There is 3 types of results. Okay, preliminary pass, preliminary fail, marginal pass. What does it mean by preliminary pass, preliminary fail, and marginal pass? Preliminary pass means you are pass. Okay, there is nothing to say. You will get a pass certificate the preliminary, but they will mention, okay, that will be verified, which will take 6 to 8 weeks, and after 6 to 8 weeks you can download the certificate and your ID card, and the certificate will be sent to you. Okay, usually 100% people receive the result preliminary pass, you are pass. Preliminary pass means you score more than 70%. Okay, preliminary fail, you are fail. Okay, they will put you are fail, your score is less than 65%, or some standard 60 to 65% they will set it, and they will say you are fail. So you will get a fail certificate, you have to apply for another one, reschedule your exam, and you give for the exam. What is marginal pass? Marginal pass means you are not pass, you are not fail, you are in between, sandwich. What happened? You are not cross the 70%, and you didn't go below 60 or 65%, whatever they have set the percentage. So what they do for that one? For marginal pass, they will re-evaluate, okay, your answers, and the result will come after 6 to 8 weeks. What is the possibility of pass or fail? There is a 70-30%. If you get a marginal pass, then I believe 70% chance you get pass, 30% chance you get fail. Many students got pass usually in marginal pass. So for that reason, you have to be wait for 6 to 8 weeks to get to know whether your exam is pass or fail. That is called marginal pass. Okay, so as I told, every question has their own points. So we don't know which point, how much point, which question carries. That only decided by the API members. So they will do it, and you will get your results. As I told earlier, there is no negative marking. There is no negative marking. So attend all the questions. 100% you have to attend all the questions. Okay, so once you got pass, you will get a hard copy certificate, and wallet card will be mailed approximately 2 to 4 weeks after the final result have been released. Final result will released after 6 to 8 weeks. If you give the result today, if they give the exam today, you will get the preliminary result through Prometric by your email ID within 15 to 24 hours. Then within 6 to 8 weeks you will get your final result, and once you get your final result, within 2 to 4 weeks you will get your certificate. Okay, so that's all about APA courses. How you apply, what you need to read, how the examination is conducted, what is the marking procedure, what are the results you will expect, and everything. Friends, many thanks, and I believe this video will help you for preparing you in your APA exams. I wish all the best to all of you for the APA exams. It is really valuable, it is really required for our career who are working in petroleum industries, refinery industries, or with process pipings, power pipings. So best of luck to everybody. Hope you are watching my videos. Please watch and share and give comments on my videos so that this channel can grow. Thank you very much. Thanks for your support.